Hey guys, Dylan from Noble Records coming at you with another heavy rotation. This one this week is a little bit lighter than normal. It's a little short. I didn't keep a lot of records this week. Didn't bring home a lot of records from the shop, but I did kind of reappreciate some things here. So a lot of records I kind of been listening to just here. Thought I'd share them with you. Also, I'm gonna towards the end of the video gonna tell you about some things I'm listening to digitally, which I never do. But like some new music that can't get on vinyl, and I've been enjoying. So, first one here is Camnibal Comics. This is a really cool, it's a promo copy, but really cool psych album, like psychedelic pop. And it's spelled with K's, Camnibal Comics, the X. But I don't typically like psychedelic pop, and I've talked about this in the past a good bit. Like, I think when I first started, I was collecting anything that was psychedelic, I'll grab it. And I started realizing that some people are really into the psychedelic pop stuff. For me, it's gotta be really good for me to want just the psychedelic pop. It's gotta be something that that's got strong melodies, good songwriting, all that stuff. Because what I really like is early hard rock. More than psychedelic. I like things that are spacey and out there and psychedelic. I like that. But a lot of these like psychedelic pop, sunshine pop, it's not like, to me, it's not psychedelic because it's not like something, you know, it's not trippy, you know, it's not deep space, you know? So I really like that out there, far out psychedelic, you know, deep space in the void type of thing. So, but this has got some really good gritty guitar licks. And it does have some of those like psychedelic pop melodies, but it's really good stuff, and I really, really like it. Like, I mean, Odyssey and Oracle's one of my favorite albums of all time, and it's psychedelic pop. So, this is a really good album. Camnibal Comics, I really enjoyed it. It's kind of hard to find, but I found that one in the attic dig I went to, and I tried to buy it, and he was like, I don't know, I'm gonna listen to this before I sell it. And he listened to it, and he charged me like double what he normally charged me for records. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And so, you know, I paid it gladly. But anyways, this one I haven't shown in a while, but I grabbed it and listened to it this week. This is Autumn People. This is early 70s prog rock. Well, hard rock / prog, but I believe these guys are from Arizona. I had it just like, I've been re-alphabetizing things and moving it around. And I saw this, I was like, man, I hadn't listened to that since I got it. And I probably had it for over a year. And I was like, man, I'd like to hear that again. And threw it on, and it is really, really good. Because a lot of times, like these more obscure prog bands and hard rock, sometimes they can blend together in my mind. And like all the songs, none of them really stand out type of thing. But this one, right when I put it on, I remembered like, oh yeah, I remember this album is so good. And I could remember the melodies and some of the lyrics like that. So it stood out that much to me to where I really remembered how good it was after I put it on. But this is a really, really great album. And I actually was making sure I had it logged on Discogs and looked on there, and it's worth quite a bit more than I thought. I think the median's like $100 on this, so it's kind of rare. But that's a really cool album, and I think they've reissued it. But from what I've seen, a lot of copies have this X in the top corner. And last time I talked about this album, like I said, when I got it like a year ago, I had somebody comment, say, I had that exact same copy. And I know they didn't, because I know the guy I got it from has had it for, like, I think he bought it new. And I looked it up, and if you look at all the copies that have sold on like Pop Psych, they all have that X on them. Almost all of them. But anyways, another one. This one also came from the attic. This is The Boys, 1977. This is the original UK press. This is just early punk. I really, really like it. It's the UK punk side, but it sounds just like all the UK punk. I like it a good bit. I've had this for a while, and I've listened to it a couple times, and I didn't want to really throw it on, you know, on my heavy rotation until I had a good chance to listen to it a good bit. But I had bought some of their 7-inches and listened to a couple of them and liked them, and it seemed like they're pretty desirable. And then I found this, and I was like, man, that's good stuff. So I think this is like a $40 record or something, but really good. The Boys, good UK punk. Gumboot Soup, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Been trying to track this one. Well, it's not hard to track them down. They're like in print and very available, but I've been forgetting to get one. But I had all the King Gizzard albums, and then one day I was in the shop and I was playing this. It's on that orange. I was playing this in the shop, and this girl came to the counter. And she's like, "What is this?" And she's probably like 14. And I showed her the jacket, and she's like, "Man, I want that." And I didn't have another one, so I was like, shoot. So I sold it to her, and she was thrilled, you know. But I was like, I'll grab another one. I'll get another one. I forgot to. So this is another one I needed to re-add to my collection. But this is a really good one if you're wanting to get into King Gizzard. This is one it's a strong album. I think it's really good. It's not one I hear a lot of people talking about, but this is a really great one. Gumboot Soup. And also, I don't have it with me. I showed it on my live video, but King Gizzard just did like a live album. It's a double LP live album, and it's I think it's from 2016, and it is killer. I had a bunch of copies for the shop, and every time I was playing it, I sold it, and ended up like I stopped playing it because I ran out of copies, and I only had one left for myself. And somebody came in like, "Do you have that new?" So I sold them my copy. So anyways, so I don't have one now, but I've got more coming. And I've also got I ordered a crap ton of inventory for the new year. So expect that to come out soon. I'm going to do another live unboxing. Let me know if you guys like that. I like doing it. It was a lot of fun. And this I showed in the live unboxing. This Nickel Creek, this side. Man, this is good stuff. And this is the one that really brings back memories for me. This has got Smoothie Song on it, Spit on a Stranger, Speak. That whole first side is just so good, man. And for me, like, when I was in high school, and I've talked about this a little bit as well, I kind of went through, like, right when I was, like, into hard rock and learning blues rock and was dipping my toe into metal a little bit, my dad really was trying to steer me a little bit towards bluegrass, and I saw how, like, proficient these bluegrass guitar players were, and I was fascinated by it. And so I tried to learn some guitar licks and stuff, and I would go to these bluegrass jams and stuff, and I discovered Nickel Creek about that time, like 2004. And man, I mean, what's this album from? 2002. So this was the album I really loved, and I listened to it all the time, and I haven't really listened to Nickel Creek in a long time. And I threw it on the shop, and I was like, man, that is good stuff. It had a whole rush of emotion back to me from that time. I mean, up until I met my wife and we started dating. We met in like 2006. We listened to this all the time. So this is very good, like bluegrass, like modern bluegrass. But I mean, the vocals are so good, and it's not even. I mean, it's bluegrass. They utilize the bluegrass instruments and patterns and everything, but it's almost like bluegrass folk and maybe pop. Like, it's really, but they're really good songs. Just listen to it. If you haven't heard Nickel Creek, really good. And there's this one as well, the self-titled, that's also really, really good. And this is one a lot of people seem to gravitate towards when I had it in the shop. And I sold out of all of them, and I ordered more, so I'll have more on Wednesday. But this is the one everybody seemed to like a little bit more, which is also a great album. But for me, that was a lot more nostalgic. Along that same vein is this Billy Strings Home. And I've talked about Billy Strings a little bit. Just insane guitar player. He's bluegrass, but this is, look at that cover. That doesn't look bluegrass. That looks psychedelic. And I would say it's psychedelic bluegrass. I think Billy Strings, I mean, I know he's a deadhead, but he also is just one of the most unreal guitar players. I mean, bluegrass, not bluegrass. I mean, he can play like nobody else. Really good stuff. And this album I actually hadn't heard. I'd listened to some of his songs and watched his YouTube videos, like, of him just wearing it out. You know, that's what I love. But I got this album, and there's some really, really great tracks on here. And it goes into, like, there's some really deep psych on this album. I know that sounds crazy, but it's very, very good. So if you like bluegrass and you like psych, you're going to want to listen to this album. It's Billy Strings Home. This came out last year, 2019. But this is a really, really great album. And I bought a bunch for the shop, and they all sold out, so I bought more. Like I said, those will be back on Wednesday, I think, in the shop. Another one, The Black Crows, Before the Frost. This is a 2019 press on white vinyl. It's a really good album, and I think this album came out in 2009, I want to say, originally. But this is a really great Black Crows album. It's got a lot of real jam tracks on there, like really good guitar, really grooving, and then it's got some like softer songs on there as well. But like the jammier stuff on this record is really, really good, and it's fantastic. I had a few copies of this in the shop, and I started playing this record because I've been wanting a copy because they're tough to find. And as I was playing in the shop, almost everyone was like, "What is this?" And they bought it. So I'm trying to, like, I really like listening to my records in the shop because I don't get to listen to records much at home. But I'm trying to play more stuff on the shop turntable that you can buy. Because people get pissed when you have like a crazy psychedelic record that's like $500 record and they want to buy it, you know. But you know, to be fair, honestly, there's a lot of people in the shop until like 4 p.m. And then after that, it's kind of like, sometimes there's people, sometimes there's not. And when there's only like a few people in the shop, I'll start playing my weird stuff that I really like. And people do not want to buy that usually. Unless they're a deep psych kid, they're like, this guy's weird. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm trying to play things you can buy. This is one I got from the metal hall, and I forgot about it. And as I was going back through some things, I found these. I kind of set them aside. I wanted to hear them. This is Raging Slab. And the hype sticker, when you read a hype sticker like this, you're like, I got to hear that. I just got to hear it. This says Leonard Skinner meets Metallica. Come on. No way. No way. Throw it on. That's exactly what it sounds like. I'm like, how could that sound exist? It does. It's this. Raging Slab. It's really cool. And I put it on Saturday because I had 2 copies of this. And then here's the other. This is their EP. I think it's a little bit more rare, but not very expensive. It doesn't have many songs. I think it's got like 4 or 5 songs on it. But anyways, this is the LP. And I had 2 copies of this. And so I put one out in the shop and I was listening to one. And like 2 songs in, this girl comes up. She's like, what is this? And I'm like, it's this. And I showed her the hype sticker and she's like, oh, I'm in. So she bought it. So I had to take it off. But this is really, really, really cool record. Like I said, it is Leonard Skinner meets Metallica. That's a great comparison. Next one is this Beach Boys Smile Sessions. This is really, really great Beach Boys stuff. I think this was pressed in 2011. And they've been a little harder to find here lately. Hopefully they'll do another reissue of it, but this is one I just absolutely love. If you're into Pet Sounds, very same kind of vein of Beach Boys. I don't like all Beach Boys. I do love Pet Sounds, and I love this. This is a really nice, great sounding copy. So I have had that in the shop for a long time, and I just decided to bring it home this week. And then you guys know I've been talking about Pentagram a lot. This is the one they did in 94, but Be Forewarned. I think it's in 94. Yeah. So I've just been into them lately, and like I ordered a bunch of the reissues and they've all sold out. So I've ordered more. And this is a really good record. It's a little bit more, it's just so the earlier one, like the 90 or the 84 or 85, self-titled Pentagram, and Day of Reckoning, those are both like real doom, like deep. They almost sound like they're from the 70s, but they're also like ahead of their time somehow. Really cool. This is a little bit more on the doom side, more stoner doom type of sound, but really, really good. Be Forewarned Pentagram. That's a reissue. I think there was an original 94 press, but it's like really rare. And this is a bootleg I got, the Allman Brothers Crackdown Concert 1986. Great picture on the front of Dickie Betts and Greg Allman. Obviously, there's no Dwayne, but it's a cool little bootleg. I mean, I think this just came out recently. This says 2016. Parachute Recording Company. It doesn't sound great. I bought this because I can get it from my distributor, and I was listening to it in the shop, and it just doesn't sound great. So I kind of buy bootlegs sometimes and try to test them out first to see if it's something I want to sell, because I don't like selling bootlegs that sound bad. And a lot of them do sound bad. Because some people don't know they're going to sound bad, and they bring them back and they're like, what is this crap? It sounds terrible. So it's like recording in somebody's basement, and I've had people say like that specific complaint, and, I'll be like, well, it's just, it's a bootleg. So sometimes they don't sound great, and they don't know what they sound like before they buy it, especially if it's sealed. So it's kind of a crapshoot. So I like to make sure they sound good and their soundboard, or at least sound decent enough to where people aren't going to bring them back and get mad about it. So that's one I probably won't stock in the shop, but it was a good concert. On the shop system, it sounded real distant, but on my home system, it doesn't sound quite as bad, but it's still, I'm not going to probably stock it, but it's a good concert. 1986. It's got all the, Midnight Rider, Blue Sky, One Way Out, Statesboro Blues, Southbound Jessica, Good Lovin', Key to the Highway. Some good stuff on here. Double LP. And then, this is one, man, this is funky. I think I've talked about this before. I've had this record for a little while. But this is Marvin Whoremonger. It is crazy. It is, I believe it is on iTunes to listen to and Spotify, but it is, like, what year is this? I mean, it's probably late 70s, 77-ish, I would say. But the original pressings are really expensive, but it's real funky, but it's got that synthesizer type of funk, and it is like, it's nasty. It's as nasty as the cover looks. Let's just say that. It's dirty. It is good though. Real funky funk. And then the last one, I forgot I had this. I ordered these a while back, and I sold them all except for this copy that I intended to keep for myself. And I was cleaning some things out at the shop, and I was like, oh yeah, forgot to bring that home and listen to it. It's the one step of Mingus Ahum. This is or however you say that. It's hard for me to say words that aren't really words. But this is the Ultra Disc One Step, and I might do a video on the Ultra Disc One Step series, because I get a lot of people that ask me what they are. Because when you look at my shelf, I have like this many of them, and I have most of them. I don't have the Santana. Like, so their first one they did was Santana Abraxas, and I didn't get that because I didn't know about it. And I think they only did like 1,000. And so now those are worth like $1,000, and they're really tough to find. When they go out of print, they're hard to find. They go up in price. Like this one, I think it's up to like probably $200 or something. They're originally $125, so, but it is the best. I have never heard anything like it. This is a record I don't put on to just recreationally listen to when I'm doing some work. No. When you put that record on, you could get yourself a drink, you sit down in your Morpheus chair, and you just let it happen. It is like, the sound quality is nuts. So I've got like, I might do a collection, like a video on my MoFi collection too, because I got a ton of them. But I've got Stevie Ray Vaughan, Texas Flood. I've got Simon Garfunkel. I've Bridge Over Troubled Water. I've got trying to see that. I got some Bill Evans ones. I got Marvin Gaye. What's going on? I've got like a bunch of them. I got most of them. Some of them I didn't buy. The other one I want other than Santana is the Bill. There's the earliest Bill Evans one that they did. But anyways, but the Donald Fagen one, I don't know. I didn't get that one because I just didn't have to have it at the time. And now it's really hard to find. So anyways, all that to say, that's been pretty cool. And then also, this isn't a record, but I have been I bought this guitar for my son for Christmas. This is a Yamaha FG Junior. And I didn't want to buy him like a real piece of garbage. And I was looking online, and it seemed like a lot of the guitars were garbage. And like when I was a kid, I had a garbage guitar as my first guitar. I mean, action was like that high. I couldn't push the strings down. I got frustrated. I quit. I got it when I was in second grade, and I quit. I didn't pick it up again until I was like 13. And then I got a better guitar. And so I wanted to get him a guitar that the action wasn't terrible. So he's fiddling around with it. He's 7, so he's not like, but he's fiddling around with it. And I got a 4-year-old and I'm showing them some things. I mean, you never know when they're going to pick it up. They might not pick it up now, but they probably will get acquainted with it, you know. So this is a good starter guitar to where it's not an expensive guitar, but it's still a real guitar. It's not a piece of crap. So I've been like watching TV. I don't drop D right now, but I've been like, when I watch TV, doing some finger exercises to get some of that dexterity back. When I was a young man, I could really shred. Now that I'm old and I haven't played as much, like I just been just fiddling with it. Kind of, I want to play guitar more, but I don't have time. So if we're ever like sitting there watching TV, I'll be just kind of messing around with it. And so I've got a J45, which he always loves to play, and this is exactly the same color scheme. So I got it for him, so he loves it. So that's music related, so I thought I'd share it. And then also digitally, I've been listening to a lot of things. Usually people recommend things to me on the channel. I'll try to like research it, and like even if people come to the shop, they're like, do you have this record? And I'm like, I've never heard of that. So I'll look it up and try to listen to it, and I try to get really well rounded. And honestly, most of the stuff I listen to digitally is not old. I know that a lot of people know me for the old recommendations and stuff, but like a lot of things I listen to is newer stuff. Some of it you probably wouldn't expect. So rarely do I listen to old psych or funk digitally. Most of that stuff I listen to on vinyl. It's not like I have to have that sacred format for such a, no. It's just that I have the stuff on vinyl, so I might as well. But when I'm trying to discover new things before buying it, usually I'll listen to it. But lately, there's one girl named Tiana Major 9. And really good. Apparently, it's really popular. I had never heard of it. And I heard this one song twice in one day in 2 different places. It's called Same Space, and it is really good. But she's like real great vocals, but R&B, pop, soul, folk. I don't know. How do you want, but it's like her songs are really good. That Same Space, like I can't stop listening to that. It's a very well written song, and the vocals are great on it. There's another girl named Remy Wolf, and she's got this song. It's called Photo ID, and it's really good, man. It's just like, it's weird. It's out there, but it's like, it's pop. I mean, it's straight up pop, but it gets real funky, and it does get a little psychedelic. So it's really cool. It's just out there stuff, and neither of these are on vinyl because I try to find them and they're not. And so like I always am looking for new stuff to listen to. Those are 2 that I thought I'd mention that I've been listening to a little bit lately. Just kind of cool stuff. But anyways, also just started listening to this guy named Donovan Woods. He is fantastic. A Canadian singer-songwriter. Shamrock and Records just did his 2021 vinyl tag, which I'll probably do at some point. And he said he just discovered him. And man, it is really, really good songwriting. He's not super popular. And I just absolutely love it. So that's one I've just been listening to like today. And it's great. So anyways, thank you all for watching this video. Hope you enjoy the heavy rotation series. Check us out on Instagram. Also, don't forget that you can buy records from us on our website. It's down below. If you want to click the link in the description, you can pre-order things. You can buy new records, all that stuff. Check that out. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.